Alright, so this power steering gearbox on this 99 Yukon two-door, and it's very difficult to get to that pitman arm. There's no space under it, so I'm gonna pull that little guy out, clean it up. It needs to be cleaned up anyway, but take that little bolt out there, take these two lines off here, and there's 3 bolts that go through the frame, and of course you'll have to disconnect it from the drag link down there. Alright, so this is what it looks like from the bottom side. Now this right here is the sway bar. This is the drag link that connects the pitman arm to everything. If I can get this thing in there good enough. There we go. So that's the gearbox right there. And right under that gearbox, it's like really close. I could probably get the nut off, but I can't get the puller tool on here. I mean, I can check it to see if it'll fall off, but I doubt it. We're going to have a look at it just in case, but still. This sucker needs to be cleaned up really, because the oil lines were leaking and oil is just everywhere. So anyway, just a good look at what's going on. Alright, so this is where we're at with this power steering gearbox. I've got all the bolts are off. It's disconnected from the drag link. I've got the nut off of there. Power steering lines are off. I'm hanging on this bungee cord here so it doesn't get away from me. Took the 3 bolts out of the frame there. Let's have a look at those. Alright, so there's 3 bolts. There they are, right there. Those 3 bolts go through the frame. And once you pop them out, then you have a loose, I don't know how much that thing weighs. Probably weighs maybe 40, 50 pounds or something. Anyway, those 3 big bolts go through the frame. Those are 21 millimeters. I use a 1 5/16 opened end wrench to get that big old nut off of there. I think that nut on that is a 20 millimeter, somewhere in that range. I heated it up a little bit with the propane torch and used a tool to get that loose. It was stuck on there pretty good. So this thing is ready to come out. It's a nasty pig, isn't it? Alright, well, I got that little monster out. It's a nasty pig. But anyway, I just have this cheap master built puller here. It fits on there. And it got it off, so that's not a problem. It came off. I was prepared to use the torch if I had to. It comes right off, no problem. And I just dump it out. It's got a alignment keyway there, so you have to worry about where it goes. It actually looks like it has several of them. But I'm going to keep track of where it comes off at, because if it turns or anything changes, I don't want it to get messed around. So I'm going to mark the top of this, and I'm going to put a line on here, even though this is the old one. So when I get the new one, it'll line up the same way, and make sure I get it in the right spot. But that's about it. That's what it looks like. This little gasket here was not pushed in, okay? And I might have to put a seal kit on this. I'm going to look at it, but it was up, and so that caused this little puller to not fit in there. So I just pushed it back down in there with a screwdriver. But that little gasket, whatever that is, some kind of dust seal or something like that, it was up like this. Yeah, and I couldn't get that Master Pro whatever thing in there, that puller. But yeah, it's just a grease seal. I'll clean that up and slap it back together. It'll be just fine.